This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the DMVSTREAM.COM studios. We have a very special edition of the Prep Zone today as we are joined in studio by St. Stephen and St. Agnes two-sport star Malcolm Johnson Jr. Malcolm, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, a little bit of intro here for Malcolm, one of the best two-sport stars in the area. Washington Post All-Met in track, first team All-Vista, first team All-IAC on the football field as well, and then our track record holder nationally and on the state level. Man can flat out fly, and we are happy to have him here. And he can do it on the football field as well. Offers from Bama, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, Baylor, West Virginia, Maryland, just to name a few. We have a big-time player here joining us today. So we're going to get right into it. You're a DMV kid, a lot of talent in this area, and a lot of different sports, football, basketball. What made you at an early age really fall in love with the game and football and decide, hey, this is going to be my passion?
Actually, as a younger kid, I didn't really like football, to be honest. My dad just kept pushing me to play football, and I was like, I remember like him telling me that I would cry every day for when we put on the pads or whatever, and it was just like, dang. But now I feel like I fell in love with the game, like probably when I was like maybe, let's say like 14-ish. That's when I really had a passion for the game and knew that I could do something special.
What was it? Was it a certain play, a certain game, certain coach that really made it click for you and really go in to really turn in the opposite direction?
I feel like some things just need time to grow on you, and I feel like it just grew on me.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And then I'd love to get into like kind of your other passion you displayed here at the high school level, track, which is a lot of people maybe don't know. How did you get you started in track, especially at a youth level, which a lot of people don't know about?
Yeah, I definitely started. I started at the age of 6. I was doing both of them. And I always liked track. I always liked it. So my mom really liked it, and I just liked it also.
So what has being able, because track's one side of, there's a lot of great football players out there, but that's not a lot of things some other people bring. You bring that track background, That's great speed. What has that been able to provide you with some of these opportunities, the track background and your track career has really been able to provide for you?
I feel like it's allowing me to go places that really most people couldn't go. Like I've been to Iceland, Cuba. I've been to Iceland twice, and that was just both for track, and it was all expenses paid. And I just feel like track has done a great job of like maintaining my life, basically.
So what was those experiences like? I mean, a lot of kids your age definitely can't say they've gone to Iceland. A lot of people, period, can't say they've been to Cuba due to the political tensions, and now obviously it's been freed up. So what were those experiences like for you?
It was a great eye-opening experiences. That was like one of the few times that I just felt like so amazed at the culture and how beautiful it was, both of the cultures.
So what was it like competing against international athletes? I'm sure that was a first for you, and running in that. You used to competing against people that you know around the same area. What was that like, just seeing, like you mentioned, about the culture?
All 3 of the times we went against older athletes, so most of them had kids, and it was just like, dang, we're going against like older men.
Grown men.
Yeah. But, I mean, I couldn't let that stop me regardless. So I just had to go out there and compete. Yeah,
I had to put on for the USA. So we'll get back into kind of the football side of it here. So after doing a little bit of research on you, I saw you listed your hometown, at least on Rivals, as Bryan's Road, Maryland, and yet you go to St. Stephen, St. Agnes, which is in Alexandria, Virginia. There's a lot of great private schools in the area. What really made it to you, and it's somewhere a lot closer to home than you, what made SSA and Coach Joseph's program, St. Stephen, St. Agnes, the right move for you?
Really what I came there for was education. That was basically my main factor. I didn't really come there for sports at all. I came there just to solely increase my education level, and just because since education is always going to be there, I felt like education is very important.
Yeah, it's definitely the right choice there, and I'm sure be a big factor in your college decision as well. So, I mean, it just shows how great of an institution St. Stephen and St. Agnes is, and then you have the football and the athletics on top of it. So how has playing for Coach Joseph and been in that program really affected your playing career and life so far?
I feel like it's really like advance me to the next level because on this team, I'm considered a leader and people want to follow my footsteps. Even though I'm not the most vocal, but people still want to follow my footsteps and just do the right thing.
Yeah, you really have that lead by
Exactly.
example mindset. I'd really just love to get into kind of that lead by example and your work ethic. So, what does it take for some of our younger athletes, some of our viewers out there, to not only excel at one sport but two at the varsity level like you have? Like, what does the grind look like for you day in and day out?
It's a lot of work. Like I'm talking
Exactly.
all summer working, spring working, all the seasons you're working, weekends you're working. Only rest day is pretty much Sunday,
Hmm.
and it's just a lot of work. But anybody can do it as long as you put your mind to it. You'll accomplish it.
So, how much would you say is focused on when you do? It was like I grew up the same. I played three sports, and a lot of these people now are saying you have to focus on one. You know, get down the other. And I'm opposite believer that I want to spread, play as many sports
Exactly.
as you can. It seems like you believe that as well. So, how do you kind of balance your time, really, football, track, since they're both so important to you?
I feel like in season, especially for football, track is always gonna be there. So like whether I'm running for football or not, I'm always gonna have track.
Yep.
And for track, during track season, I really want to maintain my hand. So basically, what I do is I catch the ball a few times a week, and that just maintains everything.
So how much? I was always wondering this, playing the position myself. And then, how much do you think the track element helps you with your route running, getting in and out of cuts, and just? I know you're a speed receiver; you like to go deep. But like, how do you think track has really helped you in really involving yourself as a receiver?
It's helped me tremendously. I feel like the most important thing was really just like speed, to be honest with you. And track has done that. It's made me more explosive and just made things a lot easier when it comes to football.
Yeah, it really shows you how to use that
Exactly.
speed. Yeah, it's
How
a
to
great
control
point,
it.
especially on the football field. I mean,
Exactly.
that's really all it is. Big momentum. Who can get really lower? So I want to get back onto the football field, get into a little bit into last season with you guys. It was your junior campaign, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and maybe not the outcome you all were expecting, but it's still a great individual season for you. So you got some quality wins over St. Albans, conference opponent Paul VI. What are some of the things you and the team are trying to build on from last year going into next season, especially being one of the main leaders?
I feel like we want to build work ethic. That's the basic. That's the most important thing that we want to build off of. So that whether that been everybody come to practice on time or just everybody being accountable for themselves and hold your teammates accountable for each other.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, you guys are going to have some big building blocks back, so we look into a big season next year. So now we are in the off season. So what does that look like for you, since you do have track season in full effect, and like you said, you are still working on your hands, doing that football training, which I'm sure is year round. Coach Joseph has a weightlifting program. So what does that kind of look like for you off season wise?
Right now, currently, I'm working with my quarterback, and we're just doing a little bit of drills just to help him and I out. And I also have track practice, so
Exactly. Yeah.
whether we catch the ball during lunch or anytime we're free, that's when we just yeah.
So how important do you say is that chemistry between you and your quarterback? I mean, we see people all the time that they say they need to throw every day with each other just to get on the same page. I mean, so what does it look like, your guys' relationship, you and Tyson, if you can kind of explain that?
I feel like the relationship is very important. Whether you talk to him a lot or a little, but Tyson, that's like my guy. So I feel like our relationship on the field shows as well.
All right, without giving too much away, what would you say your guys' favorite route or kind of go-to play is if you need a good connection between you two?
It's either a comeback or a go.
Go route,
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
As I'm saying, got to be the go route.
Yeah.
With your speed. So we're going to get into it a little bit here on the other side of it. So where are we in the recruiting process? Like I said, 4-star recruit Malcolm Johnson Jr. here with us from St. Stephen's and St. Agnes, has offers from some of the best SECs, not only SEC schools, just some of the best schools in the country, period. So where are we in that process? What have you done, and maybe what are you still left to do you think, in that process?
I feel like I have a lot to do. I feel like this is just the beginning, really. I haven't really narrowed my list down at all. I'm just waiting for some more schools. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So you've gone on some visits, and I'm sure you'll do some more visits your senior year. for the 99% of viewers out there who are watching who are never going to be able to go on a visit to a school like Alabama, LSU, North Carolina, can you kind of describe what that is, what that type of visit is like for us, for an elite level prospect like yourself?
I haven't been to Alabama or Auburn or South Carolina. I'm going there spring break actually, but mostly it's a fun experience. You get to enjoy the game like firsthand, and they just treat you like kings. It's a hell of an experience.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an unbelievable time. Get a ton of gear as
Exactly.
well. But so you talk about that spring trip. Are you going to South Carolina for a spring game, or are you just kind of looking to visit as much of schools as you can during your spring break?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to visit a whole bunch of schools like during my spring break.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, really get to go down in the South and see what it is you're like. And obviously, there's no, we maybe never even thought of this, but are you looking to make are you looking to make a commitment? Do you think before the season, during the season, after the season? Have you thought about that lately? A lot of people like to get it out of the way, you know, just like focus on their senior season. What has been your thought process on that, since you do have so many high-profile offers already?
My plan is to shoot for maybe like next year, whether that's at the beginning of the season or at the end of the season. Hopefully at the beginning, but if not, I'm not gonna rush it, and I just want to see what happens.
Exactly. You have so many times, so many more visits you can do. So I just want to ask you a little bit about this. Everyone says how humble you are, so maybe get a little bit of a self-brag here out of you. But how does it feel looking at websites like Rivals, ESPN, 24/7, then you see yourself as this 4-star recruit with huge SEC offers? I mean, do you try to block that out and just kind of focus, or how do you feel when you look at that type of stuff?
Oh, that's actually the thing. I don't even look at that type of stuff. Like, people come to me all the time, like, saying that you're like this guy, and I'm like, I don't even look at that. They tell me what I am. So I think just today, the 24/7 new rankings came out. I'm like 19 on the receiver list. I didn't even know that. Someone told me. It was like 2 people told me today, and it's just crazy that like you can look yourself up and you're just so popular or whatever.
Yeah, so like looking back in your early years, and like you said, your dad had to kind of force you to keep playing football, and now Nick Saban is at St. Stephen's St. Agnes visiting. I mean, and you have all these offers. I mean, what is that like looking back to a kid who didn't think this was possible, and now getting all these offers? I mean, what is that like?
It's crazy. Every day I wake up, I just thank God for this opportunity. A lot of people can't say they've had that experience, and I just feel like I'm blessed tremendously.
And I would like to say the best is yet to come. I mean,
Exactly.
you haven't scratched the ceiling on what you can do. So like you're saying, how much of, we see your dad was here with us earlier, Malcolm Johnson Sr., how much of him, your coach Joseph, and other members of St. Stephen's St. Agnes been a part of your life and kind of just really not walking you, but taking you through this entire process? Because it is a really big step coming from where you are and then coming one of the best recruits in the area.
I feel like they have been alongside me, and just they've basically told me to take control and just do whatever I want to do and feel comfortable doing. They're just there to support me, and I have to make the decision on my own and what's best for my family and me.
Yeah, it's great to have them to fall back on, and to get you in a little bit of going into next season. Obviously, we're excited to see you on the field for the Saints, see a little bit of your highlights coming up here. So going into next season will be your senior year. I'm sure you'll be one of the key leaders, already are this past year. So what is one of the goals for the Saints next season? What do you guys like to improve on from last year?
We want to win the IAC. That's the plan and that's the goal, and we really think that we can do that next year. We're getting a ton of recruits, and hopefully we can win the IAC and just put St. Stephen's on a different map.
That's what I'm saying. They got St. Stephen's. They've come on here in basketball a couple years in the IAC, and now you guys have gotten better and better with Coach Joseph. You've gotten more recruits coming in. When you look at some of the teams out there, Georgetown Prep, Bullis, Landon, that are up there each year out, what do you think is the big difference that you guys need to make that next step, do you think, and kind of really become a consistent player in the IAC? Because I've been with you. I think you guys have the talent. You guys can definitely do it.
I feel like just the work ethic, like I was telling you, like everybody needs to be on one
string.
Yeah, one string, and everybody needs to work together. And if that happens, then we're a powerhouse if we want to be. And as long as everybody's on the same string, then we can win.
Yeah, I agree. So I want to get into maybe some things. So we talked about the spring. You're going to see some of these schools. What do you have coming on in the summer that you can kind of tell the people about that we can kind of look out for you? I know there's probably some 7-on-7 camps, combines, that a lot of stuff, track stuff as well. So what are some of the stuff you have coming up before the season starts that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
In March, I'm actually going to New Balance Nationals for track, and that will be the end of the indoor season. After that,
is that with St. Stephen St. Agnes?
Yeah.
I mean, where is that?
It's in New York.
Oh, that's awesome.
And after that, there's summer track.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be running that, and hopefully I go to nationals. But I think I might go to U20s, which is like the USA track meet, and you get to travel around the world basically.
So summer is more track-based for you, and I mean that makes sense. If you're running track, then you're staying in shape for football, and you're getting all this stuff. So that's mainly what you focus on in the summer. Track.
Coach Joe definitely gives me some flexibility with that, since I'm actually doing another sport that I really take seriously.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of it, playing both sports. I mean, and you get ready for camp coming up in August. So lastly, we're gonna get you out of here on this. So what are some of the things you're working on individually on the football field this offseason in your game that we can kind of look to see on the field next season?
I definitely want to work on I feel like everybody can work on their hands, and I definitely want to get my hands better, and I want to get my my shiftiness better. I want to get my feet better. So with that being route releases or making a move and making somebody miss and then scoring, I definitely want to get that better, and those pretty much all I want to get better.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty finished product if you ask me at this point. Been balling out last year, like I said, all-conference, all-state, Malcolm Johnson Jr. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with on the field next year. Him and the Saints, watch out for them in the IAC. You want to catch this full interview, it'll be on Facebook, Twitter, and our website. Just make sure to hit the link, DMVSTREAM.com.
DMVSTREAM.com, the Mid-Atlantic's leader in sports video, broadcasting, and live streaming. Contact us today to learn more about our services and streaming packages. Visit us on the web at DMVSTREAM.com. That's DMVSTREAM.com.